Good evening, everybody. I'm Adam Scottsy. That's Tim, and we are officially now the Backmarkers. That is our official name of our F1 live show for everybody to enjoy. We're here to talk about the regulation changes, the 2026 season, to give our predictions, and I don't know what else. Probably have some fun at the same time. Probably.
It's going to be a lot.
It is going to be a lot. There's a lot. I'm kind of like, I was looking at our notes. Now I need to adjust my camera. We just got finished doing all the adjustments on your camera. Maybe I'll just shift my head and that'll be fine. But we were talking about our notes. We were going through the notes, and we have a lot. We have a freaking lot to talk about. And we're gonna try to keep it under 1 hour because I don't want to stay up till. I don't really want to stay up till even midnight. Yeah, I don't want to do that. So if you're not familiar, we do watch-alongs with all the race. We do live watch-alongs on. We do them on TikTok, Twitch. We do them on YouTube. So come check them out. If you're watching on one platform and you haven't followed us on another platform, I'd appreciate it. I'm sure Tim would appreciate it too. But all of the links are right below. You can see them there, right below my face right here. It's at Soup SS0OP on YouTube. I run a YouTube channel that's Sim Racing, and obviously with the F1 live streams as well with the Backmarkers content. And then Adam Scottsy on Instagram, Adam Scottsy on TikTok, and Adam Scottsy on Twitch. Why do we not have a Backmarkers channel specifically for that? Because I'm lazy. I don't want to do it. I don't want to run 2 YouTube channels, 2 Twitch channels, 2 TikTok channels, and 2 YouTube whatever channels. I don't want to do that. I just want to run one. We're the Backmarkers. We're not the P1 podcast. This isn't the P1 podcast. So, how do you want to kick this off, man? How do you want to start? First of all, how are you? Do you miss F1? What are you watching in the meantime when you can't watch F1?
I've wanted to watch the Formula E actually since it started and it's been going on here a little bit, but I haven't had a chance to. So I have not been doing very much racing.
So
not much at all. I've been watching football, American football, and the football of the Europeans.
Okay, so well. who are we? So, are you cheering for the Steelers? Obviously, yes.
I mean, I will cheer for the Steelers, but I don't. I almost wish they didn't get in some ways.
I thought they had the game lost at the first touchdown. I was like, this game's over. So
I watched the fourth quarter of that game, and it was like, I kept going, and this game's over now. And now this game, I said it like 14 times in my head.
And it never happened. It just kept staying. They kept staying in it for some reason. Blew my mind. All right, but so we do have American. We've actually got really good football going on. We have American NFL football for those of you that are on the other side of the world. And then we also have the college football championships going on right now, which is a huge deal, and it's super fun to watch. I think I like college better than NFL, but at least for playoffs.
SMU beat Miami, so my school's in the.
Did they really?
They
did they really? I did not know that. That blows my mind. I would not have expected that.
It's one of Miami's 2 losses.
All right, let's go. I mean, let's get into it because we have so much to talk about. We have so much to cover, and I don't know that we're going to get it all done in one night, to be honest with you, but we're going to try our best. So, guys, let us know if there's any audio issues, any weird stuff going on, let us know because I'm not the best at this. I try my hardest to keep everything cool and looking good, but I struggle. So, going into the 2026 season, this is, as far as from what everybody says, this is the biggest regulation change that we've seen in F1. Like the biggest set of regulation change we've ever seen. They're comparing it to 2014 when apparently it was similar. There was a big change in 2014, but still this one is bigger. So I'm gonna try to highlight some of the big changes first. First, let's just highlight the big changes with the schedule. Let's go over that. So 2025 to 2026, the first thing that's different is we have a bunch of preseason tests. So they're doing preseason tests February 11th, February 13th in Barcelona at the track called Catalunya Day something. De Barcelona. I don't remember what it is. It's Catalunya de something. I know because I drive it on iRacing.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
But that's private. That's private testing. On January 26th and 30th through 30th, they're doing private testing. Then February 11th and 13th and February 18th and 20th at Bahrain, they're doing. I think we're gonna be. I don't know if we're gonna be able to watch it, but we're at least gonna know what's going on in their testing there, which is super cool.
Which will be interesting too, because I don't know how we're going to watch things for this season since Apple has purchased.
We don't.
F1 TV, so I'm kind of curious about that too.
It looks like it's just going to be like F1 TV app still. Like they haven't made any major changes.
But paid through for Apple, that's a whole thing that they haven't. Because like I know my subscription said it was over at some point, and there's no renewal on it.
Oh, yours did say that. I forgot about that. I just recently renewed. Because I wanted to watch old races. That's what I do in the off season. I watch old races. So
I forgot. I started watching the 2021 season over again, but I'm only about halfway through at this point. So and it's been probably a couple weeks since I watched a race in 2021, but I wanted to watch it the whole way through. So I've been redoing that season. Yeah, so
that makes sense. That's fun. I think I watched the first season Verstappen and Sainz were racing. I think that was 20. It might be 2014 actually. 17. I don't know. It's somewhere in there.
Somewhere it's in the teens.
It's a long time ago. Yeah, it's a long time ago. But the preseason, I have no idea. I don't know how we're gonna watch it this season. That's what someone in the chat let us know. How are we gonna watch F1 this season? Is it
I haven't logged into
the F1 TV app? Is it not? Are we gonna have to subscribe to Apple TV? Are they going to give us all of the options that we had before? Are we going to have live data and everything? Because if we don't, I'm going to be upset. If I can't use, what's that thing called that we use? Multiviewer. Yeah, I'm going to be upset if I can't have that. So preseason testing's coming up, private first, and then 2 public sessions. And then the schedule is interesting. We still have 24 races. But Imola's been dropped, which I think is kind of a big deal. I don't know how I feel about that. And then the Madrid has been added, which is the new circuit in Madrid, which is like part street and part permanent, is my understanding. I don't really know how that works. And then some interesting stuff coming up. This is Zandvoort. This is the Dutch Grand Prix. This is the final year at Zandvoort for the contract. And it looks like it's expiring and they're not going to renew it. And then I didn't know this, but in doing research for this show, the Belgian Grand Prix, Spa, is actually going to skip 2028 and 2030. So they're going to kind of rotate it in, which I think is going to upset a lot of people. Spa is like one of those beloved tracks, you know?
It is, but it's also
in the middle of nowhere.
I think it's definitely that because I tried to go to it last year. Yeah. But it's also... I think it's a little. I'm curious with the new cars if that's part of the problem.
What do you mean?
Like
they don't
because
Spa is scary.
Yeah, actually, it is. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I
can't think of the name of it.
But they're skipping
that thing.
Yeah, but there's and they always talk about how it's a huge problem when it's wet.
Yeah.
You know, but they're skipping it in 2028 and 2030. If that was the concern, they would skip it in 2026. You know. And say we're not doing it this year. So I don't know how I feel about I don't think I like that. But let's move on. So also Monaco is being moved to so it won't be Memorial Day weekend as usual. It's gonna be June 5th through 7th, which is interesting. And then
that's because Max asked so he could do whatever that other race is he wants to do.
Yeah, he's like
it's always the same.
Yeah.
Is Le Mans the same time? Is that
I don't think Le Mans is. I think Memorial Day is always the Indy 500. I don't think
and Le Mans. It's those three that
is
go
it
on.
Those three all at once? Okay, well maybe that'd be. And I feel like he has the power. He's like, I'm not gonna race unless I'm allowed to do this. I don't know. We're just speculating.
There was something else there was something else that was Memorial Day weekend they wanted to do.
Also, Canada got moved from round 10 to round 7. So it'll be May 22nd through 24th. And I don't know what replaced that. I think that might be Madrid. The sprints. So 2025, we had sprints in China, Miami, Belgium, USA, Austin, Brazil, and Qatar. And in 2026, we're doing China, Miami, Canada, Great Britain, the Netherlands, and Singapore. I don't give 2 craps about the sprints. So that means nothing to me. Tim, any thoughts on schedule? How do you feel? You okay with that?
I was just thinking about whether or not how much I cared that Zandvoort was leaving this year,
I
because
don't.
I do think I thought it was an all right track. Like,
No, it's fun to watch. I mean, a lot happened at Zandvoort last year. That's where
yeah,
Kimi Antonelli took out Leclerc. That's
yeah, and he sat on a
where
hill.
Yeah, that's where Norris suffered an engine failure and DNP. Not that had anything to do with the racing. Didn't Lewis Hamilton? Didn't they double DNF? Ferrari, I think, double DNF'd at
It was
Zandvoort.
one of their double DNFs
Yeah,
too. Yeah,
I
I
think I
think they
think
have a few. If I remember
something
right.
happened with Hamilton. I think it was self-imposed. Whatever happened to Hamilton, I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting track. It's not one that I'm going to be heartbroken over not having on the calendar this year. So, now let's get into, before we go in like team by team and digging into that, we really, really, really have to talk about all the regulation changes because it's so huge. So I have this split up into several different categories. I have it split into power unit changes, the car and dimension weight changes, the aero changes, some of the new drivers and tools, like the new driver tools and modes, safety enhancements, which we'll kind of touch on briefly, some of the sporting regulation changes, which I thought was interesting as well. And then we're just going to start talking about some things going on with like new manufacturers and new teams, which I'm very excited about. So starting from the beginning, I think the most important place to start, and this is one of the most interesting things, is that they are using 100% sustainable fuels in 2026.
I thought they were doing that already.
So they're doing it F3 and F2. We're using the sustainable fuels.
It wasn't in F1. Okay.
So they took it into their test environment. They put it through QA as well, and now we're in prod here. So F1 will be taking on the 100% sustainable fuels, which is really interesting.
Put it through UAT.
Yeah, exactly. So they're still doing, I think 1.6 V6 turbo hybrid is still the same as last year, but it's going to be a 50-50 power split between internal combustion and the electric portion of the engine. They're eliminating the MGU H. So apparently it was a complex and like expensive part of the engine. So they just decided to get rid of it altogether. They're leaving the MGU-K. That's the kinetic energy gain. So they can charge from the kinetic energy, but not from the heat released from the engine anymore. And I think that's it for power unit. 2025 was previously an 80-20 split as far as like electric combustion went, and now it's 50-50. So that's a huge change. It's a huge change. And we can talk about too, the power unit manufacturers this year are going to be.
Well, that's.
I think we'll get into that when we get into that team by team. But you know, the power unit manufacturers are going to be Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull Powertrains, which is going to be supported by Ford, Audi, and then Honda. And we'll talk about who goes where. I think I hit them all there. So we have, we have some different power unit manufacturers, some moving from team to team, some people making a new power, some people just starting to make their new power units with Ford. So that's going to be very interesting. And we'll get into that when we go team by team. As far as the cars go, I think instead of going over like exactly the difference, because it doesn't really mean much, the cars are going to be lighter. The cars are going to be narrower and shorter. So the cars are basically just smaller. Okay. And then this is where things get really interesting is the aerodynamic changes. So the aero, they're getting rid of DRS. We don't have DRS anymore. And for those that don't know what DRS was, that was when the back wing basically opened up to lose downforce but go faster on the straights, right? And you could activate DRS when you were within 1 second of the car in front of you in certain zones on the track. That is gone. We're done with DRS. We have active aerodynamics, so there's like an X and Z mode, all right, which is, if I remember correctly, the X is the low downforce and Z is the high downforce mode. But this affects both the front wing and the rear wing, not just the rear wing. These change. And what I've yet to figure out, and I would love it if somebody could tell me in the chat, I've yet to figure out if the drivers are going to actually push the button to change this.
I'm fairly certain they are, because I was watching, they just did on F1 TV a thing with Valtteri Bottas and Juan Pablo Montoya.
Julian
maybe?
Palmer. Yeah, Julian Palmer. Yeah, I watched half of it and
Yeah.
fell asleep the other night.
So they were talking about, and they were talking about the fact that drivers have a lot more to do now
yeah,
to maintain, because now they have to maintain their
active
there's
arrow.
more. There's active arrow. There's overtake. There is
Cover what that is. What is overtakes? Just so everybody knows.
So yeah, I don't. And so that's what I was curious about when you were doing the power unit changes. I was curious how overtake was going to work. But
so overtake. Yeah, this is
that's
interesting. I had to read a lot about this to understand.
Okay.
It. So overtake is the new DRS, basically. When you're within 1 second of another car, you can use overtake mode to use extra electrical energy to get
it's
around
electrical,
another
right?
car.
Okay, yeah.
It's extra electric energy to do an
But
overtake.
you also have to
right?
charge at that
Right.
point. So
you're not limited by zones, I don't think, with overtake mode. You're not limited by zones. You can use it whenever you're 1 second of the other car. Maybe. I could be wrong. There could be zones. But you can use it as much as your battery exists. If your battery's out, you're done, right? Now, boost mode is basically maximum power deployment for attack or defense anywhere on the track. And then obviously you have recharge mode where you have to recharge the car. So boost mode's anywhere. Yeah.
Hey, we're learning something right now.
Are there overtake zones or not?
Overtake mode replaces DRS, giving a driver extra electric power for 1 lap when within 1 second of a car ahead at a detection point. So there is a point on the track where if you're within 1 second of the car in front of you, you can turn on overtake mode and it lasts for the entire lap.
Does it really? It lasts for the whole lap?
Yep.
And there's zones where it can be are there multiple zones?
No, I'm saying there's a detection point. It sounds like one spot on a track where when you pass that, if you're within 1 second of the car in front of you, you can go, okay, I'm turning it on. And now I have overtake mode for the whole lap. Yep. Which is different than boost mode, which is different than active arrow.
I want multiple Googles on this to confirm. I want multiple Googles. We're gonna Googlers. I want to get this right, so I'm looking it up as well. Let's do some research live on the air.
Overtake mode is 0.5 megajoules of energy and a higher power output up to 350 kilowatts on the following lap. Yeah, after you pass the thing.
Yeah. I've got an AI search going on. Because I thought there were overtake zones and that you could activate it in those zones, but I didn't realize that, do you have to leave it on for a full lap? Nobody understands this stuff yet. There's so much to understand with these changes.
The first race is going to be wild because let's go into aerodynamics, the more of the aerodynamics, because what I think is also interesting with the aerodynamics is, you hadn't said it yet, but the fact that last year was the end of the ground effect car.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So now we're into a different style of car and the purpose of aerodynamics in this car, from my understanding, is to allow cars to travel closer, to be able to follow behind, because
less
right now
dirty air. Yeah, less dirty air.
Yes. Yeah. So because in the previous generation of cars, people would gap out during the race to save their tires, basically.
Yeah.
And they're trying to.
It was boring.
Yeah, they're trying to make it where people can follow and keep their tires. So nobody really knows how the aerodynamics is going to work, because I've already seen some stuff online that says that some of the teams have already figured out, even with these rules in place, how to create dirty air to make cars not be able to follow them, because that's what they want. Yeah. They want the car behind them to have their tires shred,
back off,
basically,
and shred your tires or back off.
Yeah. So there's obviously that's the whole point of F1. You're trying to hear the regulations. How can I get around them?
Exactly.
That's the full thing. So I'm curious to see, do we have the 2009 Braun double wing thing that wasn't in the regulations that makes their car
designs?
Yeah, there could be some wild stuff that comes out that nobody thought about until they actually got on track.
But that's the fun part. I mean, that's what we're excited about. We love this engineering science project that is F1.
For sure.
That's part of it. It's not just the race. It's what kind of car are the teams going to put on the track, and which one is going to work and which one isn't. Yeah. But I imagine we'll get a lot of these complaints at the beginning of the season.
I'm sure. Well,
this team's doing this team's doing that.
Going back to the engines for a second, they've already had a big scandal on the engines with the Mercedes power unit,
right?
And technically the Ford Red Bull one.
Yeah.
Since apparently somebody left Mercedes and went to Ford and took the design with them.
Did this happen? I don't know anything about this. So let's.
Apparently, there's a displacement. It's the 1.6 liter displacement, or something about displacement. And what happens is when the engine heats, like when it's cool and normal, the displacement's the normal displacement. But when it heats up, the displacement gets larger, so you have more horsepower. So it's like it's something along those lines. So apparently, the Mercedes engines right now and the Ford engines are getting like we're not. Yeah, apparently get like 10-ish more horsepower than all the other engines right now.
Really?
So they have a distinct advantage, and they haven't, they've said it's legal at this point, but they might ban it halfway through the season or something like that, which would be wild for those, you only get so many power units. So I'm kind of curious how that works then. Like, if all your power units are null and void, all the ones that you had are illegal? So I don't know. There's lots of things that could happen there, I guess, is what I'm saying.
We have to wait and find out now.
Yeah.
By the way, I've been Googling this in the background here while I'm trying to listen to you and Google this at the same time. I can't find a good explanation of overtake mode. I don't think anybody knows what it is. I mean, we've described it. The way it's described in layman's terms is basically you're 1 second behind a car, you can activate overtake mode. Where that happens, how many times it happens on each track, and how long it lasts, I don't know. I can't find a good explanation for it that I'm comfortable jumping on board with right now. So, yeah, it's got all of this like same stuff. Detection: a driver must be within 1 second of the car in front of it at a designated detection point. Where are the detection points?
Maybe it's at the start-finish line. Yeah. Like,
once detected, the system becomes available for the following lap. That's what it says too. It provides a burst of electrical energy from the MGU-K. Strategic use drivers can use the extra power in one go for a short, sharp speed increase or spread it out for a longer period to close the gap. So it sounds like they can turn it off. If
I said it wrong. It's not displacement on the engine is the problem. It's compression ratio.
Okay.
So the compression ratio is 16-1 at room temperature. At temperature, though, in the Mercedes, it's 18-1.
It's higher.
Which gives it, it gives it more power at that point.
More horsepower. So confusing. Yeah. Guys, this is the 2026 Formula One season. That's why it's so exciting, is because there's a lot to learn. Like, and we're not done yet. Like, we have a page of notes here. We're halfway through the page of notes. So, we have active aero. We covered that. Overtake mode, we kind of covered that because we don't really understand it. Boost mode's pretty straightforward. You just get extra, power. You get maximum power. You can do it anywhere on the track. You can use it wherever you want, but you're going to burn through your battery. Recharge mode is very straightforward. You're recharging the battery. Safety enhancement, just like some interesting stuff. The one thing that I think is the most interesting out of this, obviously they did some like the roll hoop strengthen, two-stage front impact structure, so some just safety stuff for the driver. But lateral safety lights are mandated. Display ERS status when car stops on track is what it says. So that's interesting. So there'll be lights. The way I understand that is there'll be lights actually on the mirrors. Is the way I understood that regulation. I could be wrong there because again, there's a lot of speculation going on here.
They did that a lot. Last year they didn't do the driver's cooling vest. It wasn't mandatory.
There was a race where they made them mandatory. It was.
Oh, was it?
I think it was Singapore.
Singapore
mandatory. Yeah.
I thought that it was you either had to wear the vest or you had to put weight in the car equal to the weight of the vest or something like that.
Yeah, you may be right. Yeah, because it says here, it says in our notes that driver cooling vests were mandatory during FAI declared heat hazards. And you're right. Last year they recommended them, but they could not make them wear them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So some of the other interesting stuff, some of their sporting regulation changes, they have a minimum coverage of livery because apparently teams last year were not painting the full car so you have to cover the car with 55% at least livery coverage. They were just using exposed carbon in order to save weight, which I thought was very interesting. And then obviously the expanded preseason testing. And there's really not anything else that.
Well,
Really
the one that
jumps
I
out
think
at
is
me.
interesting is the sporting changes, the out of competition stewards panel. So,
Okay.
like,
How does that work? I don't know how that works.
it says for time sensitive things. I wonder if that is, hey, we've had an incident on track that's very important. We're gonna kick it to the booth, basically, for football terms, to have them do the review while we're doing some of this other stuff. That's the only thing I can think of that means, is like they have external referees essentially that can make decisions on something that's happening.
Yep.
So I just think that was interesting.
I think what it sounds like to me is that they're going to. Here, I'll read this to you. The FIA introduced an out-of-competition stewards panel for 2026 season, allowing a dedicated group to handle urgent rule breaches and complex cases between race weekends, delegating authority from on-event stewards for quicker, more efficient decisions on time-sensitive matters and complex issues during summer-winter breaks, ensuring consistent judging without waiting for the next event. So it sounds like the racing
break.
Yeah. It sounds like the racing stewards are only active during an event, and they decided that they need to have a panel that can be activated outside of events. So it's not as cool as we thought it was. We thought it was cool. It's actually not that cool.
Yeah,
but that's okay. So I think that pretty much covers the regulation changes. It was about as clear as mud. Going from 2025 to 2026, we've covered the schedule changes going from 2025 to 2026. Now let's talk about teams. So first major change from 25 to 26 is that Kick Sauber is now the Audi team. So the new Works team, they're going to be making their own power unit, which I think is very cool.
They already have.
I'm very excited about this. The other team that's coming that's new is Cadillac. Will be the 11th team this season, which I'm very excited about. Ford is coming back and will be partnering with Red Bull Powertrains to make the power units for both Red Bull and for Racing Bulls. And then Honda leaving Red Bull and Racing Bulls and going to Aston Martin. And then Renault is gone, no longer a power unit manufacturer. Alpine will now be using the Mercedes power unit in 2026. So let's talk about driver lineups in 2026. I had AI make a really cool picture of all the drivers, and some of them are good and some of them are not right. Like some of
Alex Albon's old, man.
Yeah, Alex. Well, no, he did dye his hair one season.
I know.
So it used one of the old ones.
It's just an old picture.
But my favorite one is Jack Crawford. That is not Jack Crawford. And then I like what they did with Gabriel Bortoleto in this. They made him kind of like half Senna, half Gabriel Bortoleto. Like it kind of merged the two together. And then there was one more in it that really made me laugh.
I'm just gonna say, Audi is a little too Third Reichy. The colors in this, for the record.
And
you know what I'm saying? Like a little bit little SS looking. Like
I understand. I knew they were going red and black. Like we all knew they were going red and black.
I know, but
but nothing's been announced yet. It's not official. We just know we have pictures of their car at some filming event, and so we're pretty sure they're going red and black for their livery. But quick driver lineup. I'm not gonna cover the reserve drivers unless it's interesting. But McLaren still has Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. Obviously, Ferrari still has Chuck Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. Aston Martin, Lance Stroll will be the driver until the end of time there, until he decides he doesn't want to do it anymore. His dad sells the team. And then they still have Fernando Alonso, who will be the oldest driver on the grid by far, I think.
Was last year.
But still
has been for a while.
The oldest driver on the grid. Alpine sticks with Pierre Gasly. Obviously, he did well. And Franco Colapinto would like to mention that they were the first team to abandon the 2025 car and move to the 2026 season. Mercedes has George Russell and Kimi Antonelli. Williams still has Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz. Haas has Esteban Ocon and Ollie Berman. I'm going to cover them later. Red Bull, I'm going to cover Cadillac last. Red Bull has Isaac Hadjar moving out of the Racing Bull seat and into the big time, or the doomed seat, as it has
Also,
become. Yeah.
we'll go to Racing Bull.
It is noted. We got Yuki Tsunoda actually moved to the reserve driver for Red Bull. Did I mention that Max Verstappen is driving Red Bull? I don't think I even said that, but
No, it's
but
not
Max
necessary.
Verstappen, everybody knows
Not
Max
necessary.
Verstappen's driving at Red Bull at least for most of this season. In Racing Bulls, they decided to stick with Liam Lawson. And
So
then
okay, that is not Arvid Lindblad.
that's not Arvid Lindblad. In the picture we're looking at, it is not Arvid Lindblad. He does not look like another form of Liam Lawson. It was just what AI did for us. But Arvid Lindblad coming up from F2 and will be taking the seat of Isaac Hadjar, who moved up to Red Bull,
Which
and then Yuki Tsunoda in the
very-
reserve driver
very
position.
interesting.
Very interesting. And then we
For
got
Racing
Audi,
Bulls, Red Bull.
the same team from Kick Sauber, Gabriel Bortoleto and Nico Hulkenberg. And then Cadillac. Finally, we're going to get to Cadillac. Cadillac's reserve driver, first of all, is Zhou Guan Yu, which I think is an interesting choice. I think a good choice, to be honest with you. I think Cadillac is going for all experience. There's no doubt about it. They've got
should
Sergio
have brought
Perez,
Kevin Magnussen back, man.
and they've got Valtteri Bottas. I don't think Magnussen was the right fit. I think Bottas and Perez is.
No, I'm saying for reserve driver, not for.
Oh yeah, no, Zhou Guan Yu is. I think Zhou Guan Yu is like probably one of the best reserve drivers they could have.
Also, that's not
As far as
Joe Guan Yu,
experience, yes,
I
it
don't
is. That's him. I think it looks like him.
think.
I think it looks like it. But so yeah, that is your driver lineup for 2026. The only thing that I have that I don't know if it's set yet, but the reserve driver for Audi I don't think is official yet. So I thought that was interesting.
Don't
But
know.
all the other
Yeah.
reserve drivers are filled in, and there's not really much interesting stuff to talk about. I think Luke Browning as the Williams reserve driver is interesting. He did really good in F2 this season, or last season. So it'll be interesting to see, if someone can't drive, how he does in the seat. But yeah, that's the driver lineup. So going kind of like team by team.
A lot of changes in some of these teams in the team manager,
Yeah,
team principal area, in movements across different teams and whatnot as well.
yeah. So going through, like, I kind of nerd out about the livery launches and the car launches and everything. So the first team that is going to be revealing their livery is Red Bull and Racing Bulls, and that's going to be January 15th. So I want to focus. Let's just talk about them first. So
Yeah, there's
Red,
very interesting what has happened at Red Bull and Racing Bulls since the end of the season.
yep.
Since they've obviously there was a lot happened mid-season last year as well. They lost Christian Horner.
Did they
Mid-
lose
like,
him,
summer-
or did they fire him and
Uh,
start
well,
doing better
He's no longer there. Let's just put it that way.
for sending better
Um,
picks?
Yeah, and then after that, in the off season, there's not a large scandal, but their Emperor Palpatine was removed.
He's
as
talking
well.
about Helmut Marko.
Sorry, that's what I said, right? But very interesting because apparently he signed some drivers without board approval.
This is rumored, by the way.
I
Rumored.
thought that was pretty well documented from what I saw it lots of places.
Yeah, it's weird.
so-
The news cycle in F1 is weird because, like, you can find out what's happening by reading the rumor mill way before it ever gets
Yeah.
officially announced.
Yeah,
So is it? And who did he sign? He signed Alex Dunn, right? Is what the
something
rumor
like
is.
that.
The
Well,
rumor
he also
is
signed Arvid Lindblad too, and
okay, and they were okay with
that
that
was
one. They were like, You're
apparently
good.
they were.
Yeah, you're
So-
good. You can sign Arvid, but not Alex Dunn. Which, by the way, if you ask me, I would rather flip flop that. I would rather have Alex Dunn
The
in
other
my
way?
seat than Arvid Lindblad at Racing Bulls. But I did want to note. So on January 15th, they're launching. They're doing team launch and livery reveal for Red Bulls and Racing Bulls. Laurent Mickey's is the principal.
Team
They had it for Red Bull. I can't remember the name of the Racing Bulls guy. But
Alex Permain.
yeah, Alex Permain. That's it. Thank you.
Alvin Permain?
Alan Permain.
Alan Permain. An A name Permain.
Yep, and they had a turnaround last season. I mean, they essentially, after Christian Horner left, there was talk that Verstappen was going to sign with Mercedes, because of some clause in his contract about the position at certain time of the year. That ended up not happening. Laurent Mekies takes over, and the team just does, not the team, but Max Verstappen does this incredible comeback where he comes within 2 points. Like, he came in second place after being down by 100 points or something like that. He comes within 2 points of winning the Drivers' Championship, which is absolutely phenomenal. So the fact that Red Bull is partnering with Ford, they're doing their launch in Detroit, actually, of all places, which is like the home of Ford. And the fact that Christian Horner's gone and Helmut Marko's gone, I don't know that I would put them as like my constructors champion or bet money on them, but I am 100% in on cheering for Red Bull next season. I'm actually very excited to see what they can do.
You're just happy that this is the first season in 20 seasons that Christian Horner won't be there for the first race.
No wiener picks. There will be no wiener.
Zero wiener picks.
So I'm strong on Red Bull and Racing Bulls. The only thing that I'm nervous about is the power unit, because we don't know. We don't know how their power unit is going to be. So
they have the secret sauce of this compression thing. So
they do, because they stole it. But let's remember, the most wins in power unit history in F1. First place is Ferrari, and who's second place?
I know, it's Ford.
It's Ford. It's Ford.
They've been out of the game a bit, but they're back.
You would guess Mercedes if you were a recent F1 fan, but if you look at the long term, Ford is
Renault
and wins. Yeah,
no, just kidding. Not
wrong, Renault. Incorrect. So next team that has a launch, the next team that's doing their livery launch is Haas. I'm just not that excited about Haas. It's on January 19th. It's going to be on their social media launch. They got Ollie Berman and who's the other guy? Ocon. I don't know. They're doing a Ferrari PU. They're supposed to be the American team, but I don't really feel like they're very American. Also because I just am not a big Gene Haas fan. I think he's kind of a jerk. So at least that's the impression. I mean, I shouldn't say that because I don't know the guy personally. He might be a very nice person, but at least the books that I've read that talk about him specifically. What's the book?
You're talking about Gunther.
I'm talking about Gunther. Yeah, his book.
Gunther Steiner's book.
He doesn't seem like the type of person that I would want to hang out with. So, so I'm not a big Gene Haas fan. So, thoughts on Haas? Whatever.
We'll
see.
What's their power unit? It's Mercedes, isn't it? No, Ferrari. They're Ferrari. So
they've always been a Ferrari customer.
They're gonna be screwed.
Yeah. We do kind of think the Ferrari power unit is not going to be great.
I think Ferrari in general, it's going to be interesting.
I got to wet my
So the next liveries are together. Well, kind of. It's not livery.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't really understand this, but on January 20th, Audi is doing their release in Berlin, Germany. That totally makes sense on YouTube.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Think about. March. Don't say in Berlin.
They're gonna go through the Brandenburg Gate.
Good.
Through the Reichstag.
It's not good. Let's just move on. So in Berlin, Germany, Audi, we got Nico Hülkenberg and Gabriel Bortoleto driving there. Who's their TP? I can't remember. I'm trying to remember. I should have put that on the image as well.
Audi?
Yeah.
It's the guy that was Benito.
No, he's the CEO. It's Jonathan Wheatley from.
I'm sorry, you're right. It is Jonathan Wheatley.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what they do because Audi knows how to do motorsport. So
yeah,
they should have. It's their first official season back. They've put all the management in place with Kick Sauber, but we'll see what happens there. And then
I was looking at a picture of their GT3 car, and it is awesome looking.
Of course,
there was a livery on it that was ridiculous.
I don't know that I've ever seen it. I don't think, are they official? Do they have GT3?
No, wait, not GT. Yeah,
I was
no,
gonna say I don't think they
Sorry, not
have one.
GT3. What's the higher? What's the
GTP,
in Le Mans? What's the top car?
LMP3
LMP3.
or LMP2. I always forget. Yeah, that I see their
It's
new
like
era begins. LMP1. Yeah.
is it one?
The
I don't
Audi
know. It had like a
R18. The Audi
was it?
R18 is what I'm looking at. I don't know a lot about like WEC, so I'm sorry if
Maybe it
I'm
was sorry. Maybe
butchering
it
all
was a
this brand
Mercedes one,
name.
and I'm totally wrong.
It's okay.
They're
I
all
mean the
German.
car they all look cool. They look cool. You got that right at least. And then on January 20th, Honda is going to do an engine launch.
They're just gonna show it. They'll be like,
Here's the engine. Here's the power unit.
it's
It
right here.
makes things go. I don't know why that's
Zoom
on
zoom.
there, but apparently they're doing this on YouTube. And then January 22nd, Mercedes is going to do their launch. So obviously everything's the same there. They got Toto. They have they lost Valtteri as their reserve driver.
Yeah.
But they have Kimi Antonelli and George Russell. And if history is anything to learn from, we know that Mercedes will have a good power unit, and I think we should be strong on Mercedes. I think if you had to throw down a prediction, it would
there's
be,
a reason.
Yeah,
Bearing.
it would be a very good pick to put maybe George Russell as the World Driver Championship next season. So more to come on that. Our predictions at the end here. Then Ferrari, January 23rd on YouTube. They're going to be doing their launch, so we'll get to see if their power unit actually starts up. Maybe they'll start their car. Maybe they won't, because there is just a lot of rumor in the rumor mill that the Ferrari power unit is not going to be very good. But we'll see. We'll see. January 23rd, same day, Alpine in Barcelona, Spain. They'll be launching on YouTube. Like I said earlier, Alpine is the first team to say in 2025, and maybe, they could have just said this because like, hey, we're going to suck and they just needed an excuse. But they were the first team to ditch the 2025 season and say we're focusing all on 2026. So Gasly talks about it in interviews. Like he talks about
He's like, we were done.
They weren't going to be good. Yeah. So I'm interested to see, like, are they going to be a contender this year? They also they're using a Mercedes engine, which I think is going to be a big deal. If Mercedes is going to have a good PU, then you would expect Williams, you would expect
Mercedes
Alpine,
ones, yep.
You would expect McLaren. All of these teams are going to be good teams. So we'll have to wait and see if that plays out the way you would expect it to. And then February 2nd, Mercedes is going to do their full launch. Didn't I already say Mercedes? I did say Mercedes. They apparently they're doing two events as well.
Online and then online.
Yeah. I don't know what any of that means.
Say?
It says renders.
Renders. They're just going to show you. They're just going to show you what it looks like.
Showing the car, and then they're doing a full launch on February 2nd. That's stupid. So then February 3rd, Williams does their launch, which I'm excited about.
But they've already shown the liveries. Didn't we vote on their liveries?
Yeah, we voted on it, but we haven't seen it officially yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I saw them at one point.
Yeah, and no major changes at Williams other than the reserve driver. And then February 8th, this is interesting. Cadillac is going to be launching during the Super Bowl.
Oh, at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't realize that was going on. That's pretty cool, actually. I'm actually kind of excited about that.
Man, I saw.
What do you think their livery is going to be? What are the colors?
I mean, it should be black, and then I don't know. Everybody keeps putting black and gold, but I don't think they're going to be black and gold.
I think they might bust out the Steelers colors. I think they might be black and yellow.
Black and yellow?
Yeah.
Not black and gold. Because their logo has red, blue. It's black.
Yeah.
But then red, blue, and yellow?
I think they're gonna do black and yellow. Yeah, there's like little squares that are red, blue, and yellow, or red and blue, I think. A lot of silver. You always think
it's kind of like this. Oh, it's gold, black, and red. I just pulled it up.
I mean, that's a cool color combo: gold, black, and red. I think they might do black and yellow.
Well, there's blue too.
Yeah, there's a little blue.
I don't know. They'll do something in there.
There's a little blue thing.
I have no idea what that logo means, but
February 9th, Aston Martin is going to do their release. So, and then finally,
Adrian Newey, first time as a team principal doing that release.
Yep. doing his release. Adrian Newey is the team principal there. That's going with this trend of making an engineer a team principal. It's interesting. I've read his whole book. I would not have expected him to take a team principal role. That he just.
All right.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. What?
I think that was.
I
don't know either.
I didn't expect him to do that. So we'll see how that goes. And then finally, on the same day, McLaren is going to launch their car. I'm guessing it'll be orange. And then that'll be it. That's all.
You mean it's not going to be orange?
Yeah, it'll be. Oh, I'm sorry, papaya.
Excuse
me. Yeah.
How dare you?
It's going to be papaya. They're doing that online. They're doing it in Bahrain because Bahrain owns them. So the Kingdom of Bahrain owns them. So yes, so that's it. Like I said, January 26th through 30th, private testing, February 11th through 13th, and February 18th and 20th. We have testing at Bahrain, which we hopefully will be able to watch. I don't think we'll be doing any live streams or anything like that, but I hope that we can at least watch them. And then finally, March 6th, we kick off the season in Melbourne. I don't know. I think they say like Melbourne there, but at Albert Park Circuit for the Australian Grand Prix, which I was going to say
the other date we don't have we don't know when Drive to Survive is going to come out, but sometime
we don't know.
Before then, they will put it out there.
But here's the deal: we know what happened in Drive to Survive. There may be a lot of fans out there that don't know what happened, but we know what happened.
I just am always interested in the spin they put on what happened in the season, and I'm curious to see what happens with all the spin things.
I didn't like it last year. I watched it.
I didn't like it either.
Stephanie, my wife, is totally into it. She loves all the drama and everything, does not care to watch the races, does not care to pay attention to news during the season, but loves
Drive to Survive. She's in.
Loves to watch Drive to Survive. So it's always exciting because like I know exactly what's going to happen. But I like to see the behind the scenes. But sometimes the way that they frame stuff, like the way that they show things and how it happened, I'm like, I feel like that's accurate. I feel like you're tinting the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. That's what they do. That's what I'm saying. I like seeing how they are going to attempt to make F1 look better than it really is.
Yeah, it was
not
interesting.
That I don't like F1. I just don't like Drive to Survive the way they do things.
I'm sure it'll come out sometime in February. I mean, that's what it did last season. So,
by the way,
let's get into.
Fact,
go ahead.
Fun fact, real quick: the Cadillac logo is a modernized version of the coat of arms for Antoine de la Mothe Cadillac, the French explorer who found Detroit.
Wow.
Founded Detroit.
That's a deep cut.
I would have never guessed that. That's what that is.
Deep cut. So, I want to play something for you before we get into the final part of the show. So I'm going to play. I'm not going to put it up on the screen. All I'm going to do is just play the audio so everybody can hear the audio. Because before we get into predictions, which is fun, that's the most fun in these shows. I want everybody to hear our predictions from last year. Beginning of this, do you remember what your prediction was at the beginning of the season?
I reposted what you posted today. So
okay, so you know what your prediction was.
I know exactly what it was.
I just accidentally played a YouTube short that was not from my YouTube channel. While I'm pulling this up, just so everybody knows, you can follow us along on Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. We're everywhere, and YouTube. Adam Scotzi on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch, and then Soup SS0OP on YouTube. Also that's also a sim racing channel and a gaming channel. It's really just my channel. I just do whatever I want on there. But we are the Backmarkers. We do F1 watch-alongs. We do a weekly F1 show where we talk about everything that's going on, or a weekly watch-along, one or the other. If there's no race, we'll just do a show where we talk about news and everything. And then if there is a race, we do a live watch-along. So go give us a follow on all of those different places. I would appreciate your support. So I'm going to play this. I'm going to play our short that I made recently that has our last season prediction. And I'm going to turn it down significantly because I almost blew my ears out when I played it earlier. So here it is. Who's going to win the Drivers' Championship? Your prediction.
I have to put Lando Norris as drivers champion.
I think if you just asked me
I
to
can't
pick,
hear.
if you said,
But I
hey,
don't know if
you
I
have to
need
just
hear.
pick, shut up, don't give us any of the fluff that you're going to give us. Just pick. I'm going to pick Lando Norris. I've got Mercedes in fourth. I've got Red Bull in third. I've got Ferrari in second, and I have McLaren in first. I think
I was
that's
gonna say that's what I have as well.
Okay, so let's just recap that. We did predict, not that it's a hot take, right? Like, it was easy
No.
going into the season to say Lando Norris was the odds-on favorite, right?
We almost did it the year before.
Yeah, and I would like to point out that there is a little bit of conversation that got cut out there where you point out that the only way that he wouldn't win is if Oscar Piastri starts to win a bunch of races.
Which is how the season started.
Which is
So-
interesting because it's exactly what happened. Yeah. But and then you talk about how like McLaren will have to institute team orders, and we all know that didn't happen. McLaren just they weren't going to do team orders. I mean, much. They did them, but in an interesting and fair way. And what we were referring to was that they would implement team orders to help their driver, one of their drivers, retain the championship lead. That's not how it played out. But at the end of the day, we did get the prediction right. Our constructors' prediction from 1 to 4 was very close. Very close. The only thing is that we had Ferrari in second, and actually Mercedes was in second, and Ferrari actually finished fourth. With
they wanted that wind tunnel time.
Yeah, and they need it. They need it for their car. So now we have to get, and I have to be honest, like, even though we're going into the predictions part of the show here, I truly do not know.
No,
who
yeah,
I'm gonna
there's
pick.
a lot of. I have a pick for constructor.
There's a safe pick, right? There's a safe pick, but is it the right pick? I don't know. And then I'd like to point out,
mine has caveat on it. So.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter from the points perspective. So this season, we are going to be keeping track of our predictions very closely. And not only are we keeping track of our World Drivers' Championship prediction, we're also keeping track of our Constructors' Championship prediction. And then we're keeping track of the podium predictions for every single race. We're not doing pole. We don't care about sprints, for God's sake. All we care about is the Grand Prix. So how this is going to work is, and you can follow along if you want to at home, we're going to do 1 point for predicting the correct driver on the podium. So if you say, like, you know, my podium is going to be Sainz, Russell, Verstappen, and you get all three of them, but they're not in the right order, like you predicted Verstappen first and he's actually third, only going to be worth 1 point. If you get the driver correct and in the correct position.
1 point each? So
1 point each.
So, okay. So if I had all three, but they were all in the wrong position.
All in the wrong order, it's only 3 points. Right.
Okay. Got it.
Now, if you get the correct driver in the correct position, it's 3 points. Okay.
Got it.
And if you get a perfect prediction, you get 6 additional points. So what that means is that a perfect 1, 2, 3 podium prediction is a 15-point swing.
Got it.
You get 15 points.
Nope. Yep.
Whereas if you only get like 1 here, 1 there, you may get 3 points. You may get 2 points. You could easily get like 5 points. You know, you get 1 driver in the right position, but the other 2 in the wrong position, you get 5 points. So on top of that, picking the correct driver's champion is going to give you 25 points at the end of the season, and picking the correct constructor is also going to give you 25 points. So that's 50 extra points for getting the drivers and the constructors. So not only are we going to keep track of our points, we're also going to be, and I stole this from a podcast, so I'm sorry, guys, but don't worry, we're not as big as them, so they're not going to come after us. But we're also going to be going against AI. And I think I want to start out.
What engine, though, is the question.
That's what I wanted to talk about. Which one do we want to compete against? Now, I'm a big fan of Manus. They just got bought by Meta, which I not so happy about, but I'm a big fan of Manus AI. That's what I use on a daily basis to get work done. So which one do you want to use? Do you want to use ChatGPT? Do you want to use Manus? No, I think Manus.
I use Claude.
Idea. Oh, you use Claude.
So I don't. Do we want to have Claude and Manus go at it?
Do we want to have dueling? Yeah, I think that's a great idea. So let's have Claude predictions and Manus predictions. Claude predictions. I got to put an extra column into our chart here. Table, insert column to the right, and we'll have Manus predictions. And then we're going to have Manus points and Claude points. So we have a big competition going on here between me,
Right. We'll
Tim,
see if we lose.
Claude, and Manus.
AI.
Insert columns to the right. So we'll do Claude points and we'll do Manus points. Okay, so what is the question? Because this is important. What is the prompt you are going to give Claude?
Well, just paste me something and I'll. Do you have one already written?
No, I don't have anything written. I'm going to Manus right now. I'm going to ask him what he says. For the F1 2026 season, who do you predict will win the World Drivers Championship? That's what I said. You got that?
Well, yeah, hey, well, don't you want to ask about the driver, both? Do both.
I'll ask who do you think will win the World Drivers Championship, and which team is what I'll say.
Okay. Which constructor wins the constructor championship? Yeah, something like that.
Win the constructors.
Paste me whatever you say.
Shit. Okay. All right.
I will paste it into Claude.
I'm going to gross.
Yep.
I'm gonna.
It's what I do.
It's what you do. Weird when we talk about AI like that. All right. Should we make our predictions before or after AI?
I don't think it matters. I don't think it's gonna change my mind or anything. Yeah, okay. Have you hit go? I haven't. I
haven't hit go yet. I'm gonna hit go right now, and I'm not gonna read it. I'm gonna close it, and we're gonna open it after we make our prediction.
All right.
Just minimize it.
I hit go, and it's thinking about.
All right. Yeah. So minimize it. And now, do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You can go ahead. Ladies first.
So, I think it's important to talk about before I give my prediction. I think it's important to talk about who are we cheering for and who do we think is going to win the World Drivers' Championship and the constructors. Because I am, of course, cheering for Williams to return to form. I'm also cheering for Cadillac to not suck.
Yeah, I'm with you on those.
Yeah, I want Cadillac to not suck. So Williams return to form, Cadillac to not suck, and to finally roll out my prediction, which this is not a distinction between who I'm cheering for and who is actually going to win the Drivers' Championship. My prediction for the Drivers' Championship is Max Verstappen. I think he's going to win this year.
I think Max is going to they're going to be able to build the car and everything's going to be great.
I do.
Okay.
I do. I think Ford is going to deliver an engine. I think Max Verstappen is going to dominate. I don't know if he'll dominate, but I think he's going to win the Drivers' Championship.
So, okay. You think Max is going to win it?
Hockey Stick agrees with me here in the chat. Thank you.
And so who's going to win the constructors then?
I'm going to put Mercedes winning the constructors.
You are going to, so Mercedes is going to take for constructors.
Yes.
So
I think
because they only have one driver.
Yes. I think it will continue. I think Red Bull will continue to have the cursed second seat. I think Max Verstappen will make the most of the car and dominate. I unfortunately think I don't. Not that I don't like Isaac Hadjar. I like the guy. I want him to do well. I think the seat is cursed. It's Max Verstappen's team. You can't. Every driver that's been in that position cannot compare to him. And they build the car.
It's also. Oh.
I just tagged a bunch. Obviously, your camera. This is the part, Tim. This is the most important part of this show.
Sorry, I got it.
Your camera just decides to crap out.
It didn't.
Come on.
Decide to.
It just fell. I'm leaving this. I could easily turn off your camera feed, but I'm not doing it.
No,
everybody,
we got it.
You gotta watch this.
We're doing it live.
Okay, so let's go back. Go back in time. I got it. We'll
do it live.
I got it.
Yeah,
all right. So we've got. I have Mercedes as the constructors and Max Verstappen as the World Drivers' Championship.
So here's what I was trying to say before my camera decided to jump off the top of my do a swan dive. Yeah. This is the first season and under new regulations without Christian Horner there, where they might actually have a strategy that is both drivers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good point. No, that's a good point. So I appreciate
it's possible, it's possible that they actually will build a car that they both can drive.
Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point.
So we'll see. I'm not saying that I'm saying Max Verstappen and Red Bull, by the way. I'm not. But I think that if they do that, they have a better shot, obviously, of doing the Constructors' Championship at that point. So, which has never been the strategy, and we all know that.
Mm-hmm.
Very well documented that they just basically said,
Max's
team, let's go. I don't know if Lauren Menkes will keep that going. I don't know what... I think there's some backroom strategy going on most of the time.
With Christian Horner.
Yeah, but with Red Bull too. Maybe I don't know if what's his name, Dietrich Mateschitz, the guy that ran Red Bull, the owner. Like if he was like, "Hey, I just want to win." Like if your owner said, "I don't care about the constructors, I just want to win World Drivers Championships," and told them that, and like that's your focus.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's some things. That
I can't imagine that an owner of an F1 team would actually tell the team not to win the constructors. That's where the money is. Like that's how they decide that's how they get the biggest payout is by the constructors. But you're right. We don't know. There's a lot of changes at Red Bull. But the reason that I put my prediction as I did is because one, I think Mercedes is going to put the best team out there next year, the best power unit. But two, I think that there was enough. We saw enough evidence in the 2025 season that they're headed in the right direction. And I think if you're even heading in the right direction with Max Verstappen behind the wheel,
I'm just saying that there's also the possibility that they could actually win the constructors if they.
Okay, yeah, I see.
That's all. I'm not saying Max wouldn't win or anything of that nature.
Okay, so stop holding us in suspense. Tell us, who's your prediction?
So, I think,
and center yourself in the freaking camera before you do that.
This thing keeps
Don't move it. Don't move it. It's gonna fall. Remember, this is gonna be
like at an angle.
Remember, next year this is gonna be. I'm gonna short this right before beginning of next season, and it's got to look better than it. There you go. You're perfect right now.
All right.
Your prediction, Tim.
My prediction, and I'm wearing a Mercedes kit on purpose.
I'll just start writing George Russell right now.
That's what I'm going to predict. I don't like that prediction, for the record. I will just put that out there that I don't really like the prediction. But I think that between him and Kimi Antonelli, I do think they'll win the Constructors' Championship too.
Okay. You got him.
I think Kimi's going to have a better season than he did last season, and he had a pretty decent season last season.
I mean, he was up and down. There were some spots where they struggled, but so that's interesting. So now, we have,
and both of us are basically not even talking about McLaren.
We aren't.
It's true. I'm pretty sure that our AI engines are about to tell us that McLaren's going to win everything.
Well, but the interesting thing is that let's talk about how no one really knows. You know, we were at the end.
No, I agree.
Like, sure, we had good predictions last season. We just played that because I wanted to. The end of a regulation, right? Like, we knew what the cars could do. We knew what the drivers could do. The unexpected thing about last season was just the turnaround from Verstappen. But yeah, it could be anybody. It could literally be anybody this season. Now, we'll just have to wait and see. That's why it's so exciting. But everybody knows where my money's at.
Yeah. I mean, I can't knock that pick in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So, but
all right.
I don't know.
Let's see what our AI said.
Oh yeah, let me find mine.
Wow, it wrote me like a paragraph.
Hold on a minute. So okay, I found the two things that are important.
Me too.
What is yours? Who did Manis say was the driver's champion?
George Russell.
Really?
Yes.
Mine said Lando Norris.
Did it really? So
it did.
So actually, my AI Manis predicted George Russell and Mercedes winning both the drivers' championship and the constructors.
This has Lando Norris and McLaren.
Okay, so
I feel like it doesn't have enough information. I feel like this is going on.
This is why we have them going against each other.
Yeah.
So this is going to be interesting. At least you and I don't have the same prediction this year.
Yeah.
So we can get to the end of the year and say you were right or I was right or both of us were wrong. But one thing that I really don't think McLaren is going to be as strong as they were last year. I'll be honest, but we'll
Hold on.
see.
So
Claude could be right.
Say this. Predict the points at the end of the season.
Why? Why would you do this?
Because I want to see who it has in second
Oh yeah. All right.
and third.
Let
And
me ask Manus. So you want
I just said
predict the full
I just said predictable. It's doing it for me. I have
driver standings
1 through 22.
and hold on, and constructors
Yep, I got them both.
standings for 2026. I'm just curious now. So
All right,
I
so
want to
who are
know.
your top 5, let's say.
Yeah, I'm not
drivers?
doing this, by the way. You could not get me to put a prediction on video for this because it's
No.
so up in the air. Now
Yeah,
hold
I
on.
agree.
I would like to point out that my
Did you
AI is doing thorough research. Okay, like it's
mine
thinking.
it just like was like, no, here it is. It already gave me all the points.
Can we claim our AIs? Like I'm on Manus's side, even though it had your prediction. I think Manus is going to do a better job than Claude
It's
predicting
fine.
this season.
I'm fine with backing Claude.
Even though Manus has you Manus has your back, it has half of my.
I still don't
So-
like my prediction. So like,
Yeah.
part of me's like, I just I don't know.
I wonder what Vegas thinks. By the way, I wonder.
Oh, I
what-
already know. I actually looked at that.
Wow. Okay. Let's talk about. You want my top 5? It finally spit it out.
Yeah.
So my top 5 is 5, Aston Martin. 4.
No. I meant drivers, but I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Let's go with.
but no. Sorry. Do that. I'm looking at that now.
So Aston Martin, Red
Yep.
Bull, Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes is what they have.
So mine is Aston Martin. So they agree. Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren.
Say that one more time. Do it again.
Aston Martin,
Okay.
then Ferrari in 4th,
Okay.
and then Mercedes in 3rd,
Okay.
Red Bull in 2nd,
Wow. Okay.
and McLaren in 1st.
Okay. Let's go. Oh, by the way, I think there's a couple interesting things about this prediction. It has Racing Bulls finishing 11th, which I totally disagree with.
This has Cadillac finishing 11th.
Yeah. I mean,
It
I
has
think
Racing Bulls
that's,
in 10th.
I think that's a. I don't even think they'll be that bad.
I
Like,
don't
that doesn't
think
make any sense.
they got
Yeah.
Audi in 7th here too. Like, I don't know.
Audi's in 9th on mine. Williams is in 6th. Anyways, we could talk about this all night long. It's very interesting.
Yeah,
So you want my top 5 drivers?
drivers. Yeah,
Wow. Get ready to hear.
I'm ready. Does it start with
Number-
Fernando or something?
No, number 5 is Charles Leclerc. Number 4
Okay,
is
we agree.
Lewis Hamilton. Number
Okay, we don't
3
agree.
is Oscar Piastri. Number 2 is
We
Lando
agree there.
Norris. And number 1 is George Russell.
Where Max isn't even on the top 5?
Max is number 6 on this.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm surprised as well. I don't know, Manus. I was strong on you, Manus, but now I'm not feeling so good about
I
this.
was gonna say I got Chuck Leclerc, George Russell, Oscar Piastri, Max, Lando is the from 5 to 1.
I feel like yours is awfully rear looking. Like mine at least talks about like I even have like key analysis on mine, like reasons why it feels this way. You know?
It has key assumptions. McLaren dominance. I'm predicting they nail the new regulations early and maintain their advantage.
Yeah.
Red Bull's Ford Gamble first-year power unit partnership causes some reliability issues and performance deficits early on, but they improve significantly in the second half.
Impressive. That's impressive. Yeah.
Says Mercedes resurgence. Their hybrid expertise pays off with the 50-50 power split. Ferrari continues to struggle. This is the next one.
It's pretty good.
Takes them half the season to find their footing with the new regs. And they're saying that Newey has a big impact on Aston Martin, and Cadillac and Audi will have pains in that Cadillac will be at the very end, is what they're saying. I don't think that's true, though. I think Cadillac's going to be better than people think.
I hope.
I would say that they probably are 8th.
Yeah,
If they
really.
get higher than 8th, I would be wildly. I think it'd be bananas. But I think that they end up 8th or 9th.
Like I said, I just don't want them to suck. That's all I'm
Yeah.
going for. Williams. This is what I want. William, as a fan, Williams to return to form. Cadillac
Williams
to not
needs-
stuck.
Minimum
suck.
5th, as they were.
Yeah. Cadillac to not suck. I would love to see Verstappen take the Drivers' Championship. Now, let's just do a couple fun questions, like fun stuff, like who's going to lose their seat first? Any idea
Oh,
with
jeez.
that?
I mean, the odds-on favorite is always Red Bull.
I think Franco Colapinto, to be honest with you.
Oh, that's fair. That's super fair. They have like 14 drivers waiting in the
Yeah.
wings, don't they?
That's my prediction. And I got
Lance
Fabio.
Stroll.
No, he's going to be driving until you and I are 50.
Maybe he'll have a hand problem.
It's good. That's true. Break his hand
Maybe.
again this season. But I know if I had to put a prediction down, I would say it's going to be
No, that's probably the
Colapinto.
That's
we did
easiest
nail
one.
that last season, by the way. We nailed the.
Well, yeah, because we all knew that he wasn't going to last. Like,
Doohan was who we put.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
they had 14
Poor guy,
reserve drivers.
by the way. Feel bad.
Yeah,
if I
he's
could buy
so
somebody a beer, I would buy one for Doohan because he deserves one.
I also
got
wonder if
shredded
Arvid
and stuff.
Lindblad will last.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch.
You
know,
never
we're not as
You never know.
we're not as blessed this season with the rookies. We had so many rookies going into last season,
Yep.
so it was really fun to just kind of watch and see how they did. But yeah, we don't have the luxury.
You know
of
what my
that this
outside
season.
shot one would be?
Yeah,
I don't think it'll
I got
happen,
one more
but-
fun question before we wrap up. But
I would
thanks
say
for watching, everybody. Thanks
Esteban-
for supporting.
Esteban Ocon. I could
What?
see.
Losing the seat.
I could see him losing his seat because
Yeah.
Behrman just ends up being better than him, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And they
Well,
try to find
and
somebody else.
an interesting point, because we know that it's not all about drivers like your performance. That they have a Japanese. They have his name's Ryo Hirakawa as their
Yep.
reserve driver, and they're partnered with Toyota.
Honda
So
or Toyota. That's right.
Toyota,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yep.
So there could be some pressure to put a Japanese driver in. So yeah, we all know Ollie Berman. What a great! I mean, started off
yeah.
a little rough last season. In
Yeah,
fact, we were
so-
talking about it in the practice. Is how I think he wrecked in FP1 and FP2 in Australia, and then just had a great turnaround.
Who won Rookie of the Year last year? Did they give that out? I don't even remember.
I don't know. That's a good question. I think if you had if you had to give Rookie of the Year, I think you have to put Kimi Antonelli on there. He had multiple
I
podiums.
was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he did have like an up and down season, but he had multiple podiums, whereas Hajar did have a podium last season.
Maybe they don't give it out.
The two most unexpected things from last season for me was Sainz double podium, right? Didn't he get 2 podiums? Yeah.
Two podiums,
Sainz
yeah.
had 2 podiums, and then Hulkenberg with a podium was awesome.
Hulkenberg is at Silverstone of all places.
Yeah.
That was wild.
That was crazy. So that was the two most, and I think it's easy to say, Mexico, Ollie Berman in 4th. That was a really, really, really strong and awesome.
Isaac
performance.
Hadjar getting a podium too.
Yeah, Hadjar getting a podium. The Racing Bulls car was very surprising last season. So
Yeah.
lots of interesting stuff. But I think I could go for another hour. There's so much to talk about with the 2026 season and the stuff coming up. But I think we have to end now. We will be back. I think I will be back. I'm not sure that you'll be back. I think you're traveling next week.
I will be in London. On
Yeah,
Sunday.
so I think next week I'll come back with news. Just do like a quick, 30 minutes. Here's what's going on in F1. May cover a little sim racing as well if anybody's interested in that. But that is going to be it for tonight. I'm Adam. That is Tim. We are the Backmarkers. Thank you all for watching. We will catch you guys next time.
See you guys.